put your seatbelts on, we're gonna move fast. We have three things that are really important today. And the computer is not cooperating. And on there would be the agenda, would be budget, and then we have to do the election for thankful capital. That's the big rocks in the room. Besides what each other. Yes, okay, no signature. Yeah. I just want everybody, when we do budget, I want everybody to see where those are. So. Oh, that's right.
It might work out okay, Joe, 95%.
Yeah.
But
that
start
last
a meeting and do all that.
Call to order. Worthy faithful pilot will now advise that all present are in possession of a proper membership card. The answer to that is yes. We're going to move this meeting fast because we've got a lot to do in 60 minutes. What we're looking at doing is there's some of the protocols that we need to look at. What adds value and what doesn't, so that we can have as close to 60 minutes of productive business. So, Mel, concur? Okay, thank you. Okay, so next, before entering upon our deliberations, let us acknowledge our dependence upon Almighty God and upon our faithful Abram to lead us in the Lord's Prayer. Kneel or stand.
In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen.
Our Father, who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen.
in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit.
Amen. We'll stand and face the flag, please. And so it is, Sir Knights, fealty to Christ begets loyalty to our country, and the faithful practice of our holy religion begets the good citizen and the patriot. So Knights, salute the flag or hand over your heart.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We'll be seated. We have a roll call of officers, worthy, faithful patrol, who is not here.
make the roll call. Faithful navigator, Joe Cardona. Faithful controller, Robert Reed. Faithful friar, excuse.
Okay.
Faithful captain, Saint. Faithful admiral, Walter Bourvet.
Present.
Faithful purser, Paul Edwards.
That's not good.
Faithful pilot, Keith Klein.
Present.
Faithful scribe, Joe Wise.
Present.
Inner sentinel, Alfred Phelps.
Here.
Outer sentinel, James Pavley.
Absent.
1-year trustee, Wade Carlson.
Present.
2-year trustee, Tom Cooks.
Present.
3-year trustee, John Howard.
Present.
Alcohol commander.
Present.
That's- yeah. Okay, thank you very much. So, faithful pilot, what is the principle of the fourth degree?
Patriotism.
We're not acting in this moment, faithful captain. What is our duty to our country?
To respect and obey all lawful authority, to uphold and maintain those duties, to administer the law, to defend and preserve unspotted and unstained the flag of our country and the principles of which it stands.
Thank you. A faithful admiral, what are the other duties we have as faithful knights of our honored order?
To maintain unity, to practice the virtues of charity and brotherly love, to exemplify in all relations with our fellow man the sublime teachings of Holy Mother Church.
Okay. The next one would be a message from our faithful friar, Father Thousand Manuel, who are not here. We just have to reorient them as to they're welcome to be at the social hour and then also at the assembly. So, any words of wisdom, faithful admiral, regarding our faith?
About our faith. Oh, you cut me off guard. We talk about, let's see, I just finished reading a book not too long ago about, it was the Diary of an American Exorcist. And it's an excellent book. I think I'm just about done with it. Yeah, excellent book. Yeah, it's an excellent book. It's one of those things that's a kind of a hole in our faith journey that we don't really understand, the real spiritual battle that we go through on a daily basis. We think everything is internal, that we get attacked by demons all the time. But it's an excellent book. I would recommend that anybody is interested in reading it, come see me and I can give you the full ball of wax and tell you what it's about in detail.
That's very good. Thank you very much. I'd like to, well, everybody knows him, and that is our district deputy, Corey Newell, who's with us today. Reading of last month's minutes.
Faithful navigator, I'd like to make a motion that we dispense with the reading of the minutes and accept it as written and published.
Thank you.
Second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
I also stand just to, just since you mentioned it, we also are honored to have a state officer with us.
Oh,
So Ken
sorry.
Reed is actually the state advocate.
Oh, sorry.
So it's okay. You're learning. So,
And-
but no, Ken Reed was elected Ken Reed was elected the state advocate for our state council, and we're blessed to have him here this evening as well. So welcome, Ken.
Yeah. Okay, reading of bills and communication. The only communication I had was addressed to Telecorp, and I'll read that to you. This is from Daniel Solokar's family. To the Knights of Columbus members, we wish to thank each and every one of you who took time to provide such a memorable and special service for Daniel Solokar. The Knights have always played a special role in his life, and we're certain he's smiling down on you for your outstanding acknowledgement of his life. Blessings to each of you, the Daniel Solokar family. So very nice. So, this is one of the rewards of Brother Knight showing up for a funeral and also with Elizabeth. Okay, so the report of Faith Navigator. There was approximately 40 hours of work in preparation for this 1 hour meeting. And I'm not surprised by it, it's getting up to speed. I chose, instead of giving you details of the different things that had to be done for tonight, but to give you insight on what my philosophy is and what I believe the fourth degree is. Remember, almost 18 years after the Knights of Columbus was established, there was identified need for the fourth degree. And what is important about fourth degree is that it's been in existence for 122 years. It's no small potato as far as time. So, first, I want to thank Tom Coops for helping us at our last assembly meeting. He was the acting navigator. He did a great job. Thank you very much. Jerry Sullivan, I have to tell you, he sat on my side and tutored me through the Knights of Columbus website, from logging in to being able to send messages out. And oh my goodness, that's like trying to take a sip of water from a fire hose. I still have so much to learn, and you know, their way of thinking is a lot different than us young IT guys. Anyway, and then Joe Wax, and you know, I don't call everybody a hero, but you're all a hero. And there he was at a conference in a hotel room, and up comes, hey, we need minutes. He reviews the video and the recordings and comes up with, yeah, no, you're a hero. Yeah, didn't have to do it, could have stepped aside and said, well, pass on to somebody else. You did, and thank you for that. Appreciate that. It is said that the devil succeeds when good men do nothing. One of the main tactics that the devil uses is to get us to believe that there is no such thing as the devil. If you get a chance, Paul Harvey and the rest of the news, Paul Harvey, and If I Was the Devil, it will shake you in your boots. He foretold what we're experiencing today. Paul Harvey, If I Was the Devil. Worth going to that side. We are certainly living in turbulent times. Our faith, the value of life, and even now liberty is being threatened. You only have to look at the TV news networks. And I can remember in 1968, the movie Rosemary's Baby, when Hollywood portrayed the devil having an offspring as if it was the Christ story. I don't know if your memory goes that far, but that certainly wasn't the beginning. But now, fast forward today, TV sitcom called Lucifer, humanizing the devil. We got some problems. And what the fourth degree is about patriotism and country, probably. So patriotism and country. The news media, I won't go into that. The weakening as a point, when we think of patriotism, we look at supporting the active military We'll look at supporting the veterans. The weakening of the military through the vaccine mandate and excessive inclusivity has weakened the military. 40,000 soldiers not to continue in active duty. I have a nephew who I helped get into the Air Force. He's a major now, special ops, C-130Js. And he would tell the story how he was embarrassed for his commander when the woke people came into his squadron and took down the symbol, the patch that squadron, flying squadron, had since 1935. We have problems ahead. Again, the devil succeeds when good men do nothing. Let's talk about us. And the four most common complaints or criticism I hear from former Knights of Columbus Brothers, people who were Knights who were with us and decided, well, maybe this is not my gig. First one was when I came to a meeting after one or two times, I was ignored. No one talked to me. So I decided not to come back again. We have the Army 06 that experienced that, but he was not the only one. Second, it seemed like all the nights in the meetings was argue about money. I don't think that still is prevalent today, but those that are out there not joining us, that stays on their mind. Thirdly, sometimes the open verbal disrespect when talking to one another was a turnoff, and they didn't want any part of that. So I'm not saying that this is happening to us. I'm not saying that any of you is doing this. I'm just saying that if we're to grow our council, if we're to grow our fourth degree, we must rely on sponsorship and mentoring. And I think of Sir Knight Daryl Houston. What you see in the Knight's classroom, him and I did as a project. He was my sponsor. I would get a call, hey, there's a meeting, there's an activity, you're coming. And what? No, you're coming. Okay, and so as a result of his sponsorship and mentorship, and I would also say, Sir Knight, John Pettinger, I am who I am today as a Knight because of those two. And a number of you as well. I spent look at it, we spent approximately 20 minutes or 60 minutes at our assembly on ritual protocols with no really added value, resulting in limited time that we have to talk about our to-do list. I'm not saying that what we just experienced here is not important. It is, but we need to look at where we can cut so that we can get down to business or find the ability to go past 60 minutes so that we can take care of business. And that'll be more clearer when we talk about what you have on your table. On some of you on your tables, you have different elements of the fourth degree of our assembly responsibility, what we need to pay attention to. Our meeting evening assembly and council can be as long as 3 to 4 hours long. I don't know about you, but I get grief when I get home. But you know, it's all important. But how can we have a productive, fun, rewarding meeting, looking at how we do our time management? And we need to do that. Out of respect, as I just said to you, out of respect for your time, hopefully this shows you my respect for you and your time. And that, you know, we need to get some work done. So simply put, it's all about God and country. There is so much belief and values towards the fourth degree. Supreme would not have dedicated a district master or a district marshal if the fourth degree was not so important. If it was not so important. So with that, in the past, when it could take a year or more to be a fourth degree, it now can take 2 days. You can attend the ceremony. It takes a little bit over an hour. And then the next day, you can attend the fourth degree ceremony, exemplification, and in 2 days. It doesn't happen, but I'm just saying, time-wise. I remember the days I learned the importance of the first 3 degrees. And then when I took the fourth degree, then I put it all together. All I'm saying is that as we move forward, we need to continue to teach, to sponsor, and to mentor along the way. We need to build the council. We need to build the assembly so that we can remain the respected, strong right hand of the church. So with that, all I can say is that my effort would be, is that the assembly meetings will be fun and rewarding. That the fourth degree is about God and country, and to remember, the devil succeeds only when good men do nothing. That is really so important. And we can see that in our country. So, but that's my report. If you want to talk to me about anything after, I'm standing tall and take your comments. I loved the Knights of Columbus. I love being a knight. And now, as you're a faithful navigator, I will do my best to make sure that you're happy and we're successful and we're doing the good deed. Okay. Report of the faithful controller.
Faithful navigator, we have 123 members, in the assembly. We have a new transfer that we have just signed off tonight, Richard Jessinger, moved from Las Vegas to Sun Valley, but wants to join, maintain his fourth degree presence upon me. He's been on me for 41 years.
Wow.
So,
Fourth degree,
fourth degree night.
50 years.
Wow. So long time.
Mhm.
That's all I have for you.
Thank you. Okay, report of faithful person. Oh, he's not here. Well, I will tell you that we did an audit, annual audit, and everything checked out. What the bank had as our remaining dollars, we figured out and we came to the same amount. And that audit is available for seeing. And in addition to that, well, we'll have the budget here shortly and we'll all work on the budget. And we'll present it, the proposed budget to you for your approval. Report of the Color Corps Commander, that'd be me. And I have to say, tonight, you did a wonderful, wonderful job on this Silver Rose. It was so fantastic that there almost wasn't a dry eye in the room. The performance was spectacular. Color Guard participated in that, but equally was the other knights that participated, saying the rosary, doing the narratives and all that. We got really, really good reviews, and that's because of your leadership, and we thank you for that. And as far as Color Corps, I got an email this is late last night from Sir Knight John Pettinger. And that was, here's his comment. Color Corps commanders, for quite some time, I have hoped to provide training videos for the Color Corps members to ensure that we have consistent practices across the state, particularly when Color Corps are combined across assembly boundaries. So maybe, Corey, you might know that there might be two assemblies that are faltering with no Color Corps. They're faltering, and the financial support that we need for the VA may be faltering, and some of that burden may fall upon us. So that's what he means by combined assembly boundaries when we're doing funerals, celebrations, what have you. The videos that he's talking about is the ones we made. It's the ones we made that have gone across the country, have gone across the world. The videos we made. Could they be better? Yeah, you can have a better face than this. Right? You know? But I always thought and hope that Supreme would look at it and say, okay, we can do one better, which would have been okay with me. But that's the videos he's talking about going statewide, and we did disseminate them. But unfortunately, other locations are not doing training. Okay, with that, reports of committees, and I don't know, if I'm going to talk about the VA.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah, I'm not the representative, but
no, but
since April, on the third Thursday of the month, we've held bingo down at the VA. We certainly need volunteers. We typically get 6 to 7 patients right now, and they're in the CLC, the Community Living Center. And these are the people that are, almost every one of these veterans are in a wheelchair, and most of them are on oxygen. So they need help, and some of them don't hear as well, including myself, but we have to sit down with them and sometimes help them with their bingo cards. So we're really asking for help there. The way the bingo works at the VA is that each one of the assemblies in the valley has, and there's 4 of them basically, has 1 month. So next month will be Risen Christ in St. Mark's, and then Napa, and then us. Well, I guess it's only 3. St. John's really doesn't show up anymore, and our Sir Knights in Napa only come to help when it's their turn to sponsor. And what I mean by sponsoring is they provide the money, the dollars, the silver dollars that we give the patients. We're still in the process of trying to get the state housing over there, those guys to come over and take part in bingo, which they always had before, but they're being very restrictive because of COVID. So they're not able to come over yet. And they're thinking maybe September. So we need help. Last month in May, there was myself, Mike Shaw actually came down and he helped, along with Autry. I don't know, it was Autry from St. Michael the Archangel Assembly. Autry was there, but we needed a lot more people to help the veterans. So please step up. We need you.
thank you very much. I don't know if you noticed, I'm so used to doing this, I gotta learn to do
Yeah.
this. Learning curve. All right, reading of applications after referral to admissions committee or membership committee.
We have moved the application.
No applications, all right. Then. Okay. Welfare Committee, tonight, Joe James,
Nothing to report.
nothing to report, okay. Okay, at this point in time, I use 5 different documents to do the scripting. And it says balloting, which is elections, but I can take that to new business. Just so that you know. Okay, unfinished business. According to our minutes, there was no unfinished business. And now, report of the trustees. Board trustees, no? Okay. Nothing to report, okay. They did get the annual audit and reviewed it and are in the process of having coordinated approval on that. New business, we have our agenda up here, so I'm just gonna step away over here. Can we get a budget up?
Okay.
Okay, hold on.
Wrong one, sorry.
Be a lot easier for me to read from this side.
Not ours.
Yeah, sorry, hold on. I had many requests. They've got yours up there, Dave. Budget.
Should I move on and come back?
Nope, nope, it's coming up right now.
Order.
Thumbs up.
I get the big bucks.
So we'll get down to the bottom, but basically, our needs for this term year is about $11,000. We'll go through it here. On income, like all of you know, it's really the best guess of what we hope is going to be coming in. And here is our projection. As you can see, 2,400 from the council. Other fundraising, 2,000. One of the things we did talk about, that we made sure that it's not deep, but basically, we're not going to interfere with council fundraising. In fact, we all should be helping in the fundraising effort that the council puts on. Dues, as you can see, what's projected in. We have down here in the note, we have 120 sir nights, but not all of them pay dues because they're either honorary or what's that?
Disabled.
Disabled. Donations, that sometimes will come in, that might be at a funeral, family is grateful, and so they donate money to us. Again, that's a soft number, we're not sure we can get that. Chalices and plaques, we don't sell them, we give them away. Exemplification or reward events, we got 3,000 up there, and what you need to know is that the only date that's available to us for assembly is May 6th. 2023, May 6th. So I hope that they ask us for to do an exemplification and that time works out for them. If not, then what we will do is have a really nice, social for all of us. Something that you'd be proud of bringing your significant others to.
Where the faithful that.
Yes, please.
The district.
The district master announced at our state meeting over this past weekend that Meridian Council was possibly going to sponsor a fourth degree exemplification in the Summit Bowl.
Oh, okay, so that works out.
Yeah, he mentioned it.
Oh, perfect. Okay, great. Yeah. All right, great minds are thinking alike. Thank you. Good. Gear shirts, what that is what we expect our expense to be. It's not really a money making, but we have to invest money to buy the inventory so that when new members come in or the current shirt doesn't fit, we have that shirt readily available. One of the obstacles we run with vendors is that you have to have a minimum order. One vendor is 7, another vendor is 12, another one is 24. So depending on the quality of shirt that we're looking for versus print, I mean, there's so many different variables. So roughly what we're looking at might be an upfront investment or income, a profit coming back about 300. Social events, again, up in the air. I would like to see that we have quarterly a social event that we can go off our days, just kind of like the pizza, the hockey game, the baseball, something that we can do non-church life to where as guys with your spouses and your kids and get together and have fun with that. Expenses, chalices and plaques. We're going to maintain in our checking account $3,000. Currently, right now, once the 10th chalice arrives, we'll have 10 chalices available. Again, just remind you that 37% of our assembly are over 70 years. And I'm 70 now, so I still hope I can reach 80, right? But anyway, we have that in reserve. Convention supporting representatives going, we're figuring about 300. Color core supplies about 400. That's just a grab, but I will tell you, not seeking reimbursement as a color core member that I spend at least $250 new pants, shoes, and other things that I need to get color core member. So our color core members do have to reach in their pocket, but something that's extraordinary. And an example of that would have been the flag poster harness that the assembly was gracious to grant us to buy that. Donations, expenses, what we're going to do with at the VA hospital, Reach Across America, Patriot Guard, St. Ignatius, competition. And then moving on, exemplification, rewarding event. Again, that might be during after dinner, or recognizing many of you here in the room right now. And then gear, shirts, and what have you, our expenses, again, front loading the purchase of our inventory so that we can have it readily available for our members. Office supplies and materials. Boy, that night ordering stuff, it's expensive, but the shipping of that stuff, oh day, I'm telling you, we're in the wrong business. And then social events, again, 500, but those will be planned. I never ever want anybody to say that whatever money we gain at fundraising, we spend on all this by donation within this room. Because the second that we do that, then that's all the Knights do. They raise all this money, only to spend it on themselves. And I never want anybody to have any inkling that they could make such a charge, okay? So with that, that would be an official function. And as you can see, the expense, our projected plus is $300 after we distribute all our funds. And then here's the description there. We'll put that budget online, and I'm not going to look for approval now. I just want to explain it, and then I'll send it out to you, and then you can look at it and provide your comments. And then at our next assembly meeting in August, then we'll do a quick review and then a vote on approving the budget. Right now, we have no great reasons for pretty settled. Yes.
I just have one question on that. I think last year we donated to the military chaplain fund,
Yes.
and I didn't see it there, so just maybe something we want to add.
Oh, okay, good call. Okay.
$500.
Just $500.
$5, yeah, yeah, okay. I don't know how we missed it.
Joe, it's in the donation and other category.
Oh, donation other?
We did include it.
Okay,
Okay.
but maybe we need to just spell it out specifically, so it's you know where it's going. Okay, any questions regarding that? Okay, next item, meeting council, okay, I'm just gonna let you know that the council and assembly financial officers are gonna meet and talk about, what we can expect financially, each year. In the general year. And that's just letting you know that. Discuss fundraising, already talked about May 6th. And then, what brother Jerry Sullivan did is pass a chart of clipboard for you if you're interested in purchasing a flag, one of the fundraisers, then put your name on it, and then we'll act accordingly with that. So there's one or two for circulating, okay? And Mass in the Park, 9/11 tribute. I'm the OPR, if you will, for that Mass in the Park. We did it for 10 consecutive years. I've been blessed by having the same members. But we had a 2-year break because of COVID. And so on September 11th, Sunday, 10 o'clock, the 9 o'clock and the 11 o'clock will meet at 10 o'clock there on Settlers Park. What we need from all of you is that if you attend that Mass, is that you just wear your shirts and get there like a 9:15. Mass starts at 10. Get there 9:15 and help mobility challenge parishioners from the parking lot to where they're gonna sit. We're gonna have a senior tent for those mobility challenged or elderly parishioners, and they'll have their own serving tables there for them. And what you'll be doing is bringing in water, cookies, chips, modest stuff. So we'll have carts there, so you don't have to hurt your backs by lifting that water. So that's just to give you a heads up. The other thing I have there for 2 volunteers. I need 2 volunteers. We have 7 flags, and we're doing that as a backdrop for the field. So the 7 flags traditionally would be out there, and then so it's putting them up somewhere around 8:30, 9 o'clock, and then when the Mass is over, at and then taking those flags back down. It's a little bit of a logistical problem. Got a pickup truck, go to the shed, take the flags and go set them up, but we set them up and then no problem. And so now Mike Shaw did a wonderful job and the basis for them, so. Okay, so with that, elections of a faithful captain. So tonight, Corbin Carson resigned for personal reasons. He said that he didn't feel with what was going on in his life that he could give us 100%. And he was gracious that he said he didn't want the assembly to suffer because he couldn't give 100%. He didn't want to serve in the role unless he could give 100%. So with that, right now, to my knowledge, we have two candidates. Tonight, Dick Jacobson, and then tonight, Stephen Gaston. And so what I need to do, and I guess I've seen this a number of times, is that I need a nomination for both of them individually, and then open it to the floor to see if there's anyone else that's interested in that position. So with that, can I get a nomination from the floor?
I nominate Dick Jacobson for the position of faithful captain.
Second, okay. So with that, okay. Okay. Okay, so with that, Steve Gaston, right, is that what you just said?
Dick Jacobson.
Oh, Dick Jacobson, I didn't hear,
Sorry.
sorry. Okay, Dick Jacobson for fifth navigator, thank you, please.
I nominate Stephen Gaston for the position of captain.
Okay, do I have a second for, got a second, okay? So with that, we're gonna do a ballot, paper ballot, but first of all, I want to know, is there any other nominations from the floor? Right, good. You got this puzzle book. I said you got this puzzle book.
Oh, I was wondering if you were going to give me a little time.
I'm gonna give it to, yeah, Tom. But I want to know if there's anybody else, yes. Yes.
Yeah.
That, okay. Okay, 3 times. 3 times.
Are there any other nominations?
Okay. Are there any other nominations? This was the most stressful thing. Try this.
It's one.
Just
One for,
Okay, so wait a 3 times.
I'm gonna say it 3 times. Are there any nominations?
Are there any other nominations? Are there any other nominations? Okay, got it. Okay. Thank you. All right. Well, all right, no other nominations? So with that, what I'd like to do is invite both candidates up, and you got 5 minutes each to present yourself and why you believe you'd be worthy of the position. Okay. So Vic, come on up. All right.
Okay, thank you. First of all, I'm sorry that Corbin had to resign. Pray that he'll be able to focus on his other priorities and continue to serve the Knights in their ways. Just a little background about myself. I've been a Knight first, second, third degrees since 1985 when I was in Billings, Montana. And throughout my working career, much like most young men, when you're focusing on family and faith in your work, oftentimes, usually, in reverse order, and work takes priority. So I wasn't very active in the Knights during my working career. We were fortunate to move to Boise in 1994, and later in my career, and when I retired in 2014, I started getting a lot more active with the Knights here at Holy Apostles. When I was working, I found that to be successful, needed to focus on details, work hard, and build teamwork in order to get things done. I think that's the same here with Knights. When I retired in 2014, I started getting more active, participating in the various activities with the Knights. And I remember one of the meetings I was at, I was still trying to learn what all we do there. And Brother Corey Newell, the advocate of the council had resigned that year. So I was sitting there in the meeting with Corey said, "Oh, I nominate Dick Jacobson as a replacement." And so I said, "Well, what is that? You know what?" Said, "Yeah, I'll do it." And of course, was elected. So I served as the advocate for the council for the last 6 or 7 years. But when I retired, I kind of tried to assess what my priorities should be to get back to both the engineering profession as well as to the church and Knights. And I am not a veteran, but I am very patriotic, and joining the 4th degree became a priority. Yeah. So I took the exemplification in 2018 and immediately joined the Color Corps. Dick Navigator Joe is very accurate that the Color Corps is more than a commitment, it's a vocation. I firmly believe that. Really focused on that. So as your faithful captain, if elected, I would bring those same priorities of working hard, focusing on details, and building teamwork to that position. So I would appreciate your consideration.
Thank you very much.
Good, Brad.
Yeah. Good evening. My name is Steve Gaston, as he said, and I appreciate the opportunity actually to come up and just introduce myself. I've only been here a year. I've met some of you, but not all of you. And one of the reasons that I'm trying to get more involved is to gain that opportunity to meet more of you and understand more about what the council and the assembly are doing. I've been a Knight for over 20 years. Most of that time was in Northern California, Anderson, California, near Redding. And as the council level, I held every elected position except treasurer, including Grand Knight. I was proud that we actually received the Star Award, which was only the 2nd or 3rd time for our council when I was a Grand Knight. So, and I did that. I learned as I went through the different offices that as I became more involved, I got more out of the Knights, got to know the brothers better, and it's really what it's all about is being active. I was director of Internet Information Technology for 35 years for a family business in Northern California. Retired a year ago and came here to be closer to my daughter and closer to some friends that moved here. And then my wife likes to say I failed retirement about December of this year, and I'm now consulting with about 150 Northern California school districts on cybersecurity. Cybersecurity became a very, very critical issue for pretty much every business now in the IT world. And I offer that because it may be something that I dabble in a little bit here just to help people out, but I pretty much do it at this point as just helping people. I had asked Joe and Chuck about becoming a faithful captain, once again, just to get more familiar with the assembly. Our assembly in Northern California spanned all the way from about Chico up to the Oregon border. The meetings moved around. They were more often than not out of town, and that did not, it did conflict with my work schedule. So I was not able to get active at the assembly level, but I'd like to get more active with this assembly, either now or in the future. I plan to get more active, both at the council and the assembly. I have recently joined the Color Corps, which has been very rewarding. It's nice being retired. You have the time to actually put in more, volunteer time and things like that. And that's been a pretty cool deal. I have also just became a newly elected third-year trustee at the council level because of my prior experience at a council level, holding the different offices. I'm also an elector here at the parish and volunteer to read or lecture as needed for the nights, which I very much enjoy, and just try to help out whenever the nights need it. As I say, it's nice being retired, even if it's semi-retired. It does give a lot more time to participate in things like the nights. But thank you.
The paper ballots have been passed out, and then can somebody helping you collect them? Okay. So I'll just give you a minute and write down your choice, and then they'll come around and pick them up. There you go. Thank you, Dick, and thank you, Steve, for the presentation.
Thank you, Joe, for the opportunity.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could hold it.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay, so you go to the count in the back. Okay, so I'm gonna continue on with our meeting. And what I wanted to do was, and I'm trying not to get too much into the council's time, but real quickly, and we probably can't have real deep conversation, but I want to know what floats your boat. What makes you passionate about serving, and particularly being in the night? I have to be very, very careful because everybody has other obligations. And I know that, like with my Color Corps, although I know there's nights, although I know there are nights who are working and unable to attend masses or celebrations during the week, I still send them the notice because I want them to know I haven't forgotten about them. And so what we need is to avoid committees of one. And the one is usually the chairperson that's shouldering all the responsibility for whatever that committee is. So what I have on each of your tables, right now, you know, there's the VA hospital needs volunteers. There's the VA state home. Everybody thinks it's federal, but it's state. And then there's the VA community center, which are those that are not eligible to go out. There's no place for them. And so they stay in the certain section of the hospital getting ongoing care. So when we talk about the VA, there are three aspects to the VA by itself. There's the school as far as doing compensation, writing, contests. What we're looking at was the 6th, 7th, and 8th grade, promoting patriotism. What does the Pledge of Allegiance mean? What is the Star Spangled Banner? You know, dividing it up based on the students' ages. The financial reward would be to enable them to buy uniforms or school supplies, not to go off and buy other items, all school related. So what, I guess very quickly, whether publicly or privately, I need to know what we're not doing right to get participation. At the Silver Rose, I mean, the nights that put it on were the ones that were there. They were the only ones that were there. And some other functions. Well, what is it that we're missing? Past Faithful Navigator, when he was in the VA with past Faithful Navigator, Mike Shaw, is they were really stressing. They had a room of vets, and they were trying to get around to each of the vets that needed assistance in playing bingo. So how do we eliminate that type of situation where it's maybe the chairperson plus one doing the job when we need more help? And so I feel that maybe it's something that we're not doing as leadership to meet your needs and enable you to participate in committees. It is my hope that when you come in for the social hour, whatever a group might be, you get together, you talk about business. Maybe it's a VA community center, or maybe it's St. Ignatius. Whatever it is, just trying to create an opportunity, respecting your time where you can get together and take care of business. So, anything want to say from the floor, or please? Okay, go ahead.
I'd like to make a motion that we buy a new Faithful Navigator, his white handled sword, and not to exceed $250. I don't think it's that much, but he needs a white handled sword. And, okay. No. Okay. Question? Yes.
Yeah, Supreme basically just paints them, and I've got a can of spray paint, what I did with mine. That's all Supreme does, they just paint it.
I can't hear you.
You take a pair of white shoes and spray them.
But basically, what I did with mine is, I just spray painted the handles. Kind of roughed it up a little bit with sandpaper, painted it. And when I talked to Supreme, that's what they do. They basically take a black handle and paint it, but they charge you for a full black sword. So you're going to pay, what's the going charge now?
For black sword, it's $150. For white handled sword, which is no longer in stock, it's $175.
And it's no longer in stock. So
That doesn't include shipping, which is probably half of that price.
So I'm just saying,
Oh, it's not.
I'm glad to give you that.
No, I'm just. Okay.
With the Faithful Navigator, we have some motion and a second on the floor, so.
There I will start, and thank you for your generosity. So, okay, there's a vote on the floor to buy a Faithful Navigator, a white handled sword. That is the gavel thing. So up for discussion, any further discussion regarding that motion?
In all due respect, I don't think we ought to need to have a motion to get you a sword. If that is part of the uniform for the Faithful Navigator, we ought to automatically buy them the sword and be done with it. What are we talking about? $175, right? Either that or the can of spray paint.
Faithful Navigator, I have a sword that has a white handle, and I'm not using it. It was given to me by Bert Mouse. And
even if I were to join the color guard, of which I'm considering. I would have to have a black sword, right? So I would like to donate that sword to Faithful Navigator. Second.
All right, so,
Gotta vote on
so
it.
motion, continue with the motion, or
Yes.
we just do trade? Okay.
Yeah.
So any other discussion?
So the one who made the motion needs to withdraw the motion. If they're gonna withdraw the motion, the one who made the motion needs to withdraw it, if we're doing that.
I understand.
Well,
Or vote on it.
Okay. So what we'll do, we'll finish with discussion, and then we'll take it to a vote. Okay? Okay. So we need a vote on, purchasing a white handle sword for the Faithful Navigator. All those in favor, say aye.
aye.
Okay. All those opposed, say nay.
Nay.
Okay, the nays have it, and I'll see you later. Okay, all right, we're eating to the council's time, so we need to move. And so, I want to congratulate, Sir Knight, Dick Jacobson, as our faithful captain. Okay, so moving along closely, is there anything for the good of the order? Anyone that we need prayers for?
Faithful Navigator, I stand to ask for prayers for Sir Knight Mark Fortin and his wife Cheryl.
Oh.
Cheryl is recovering today from surgery that she had today. She's doing well. She's got a recovery. So that's why Mark is not here tonight. He won't be here for the council meeting, but he did ask for prayers for his wife Cheryl, and I asked this body to pray for her as well. Faithful Navigator.
Any, yes,
Faithful Navigator, Tony, buddy down in Phoenix. and
yes.
His wife is not doing it. And, you know, she's so bad off, they're not even coming back up here. They would have been here ready for the summer. But she can't travel, have hospice care, specialist care, you know, so it doesn't look good.
Yes. We got it. Any other for the good of the order? Okay, so we need to pray for those two individuals. With that, Sir Knights, if there is no further business to come before this assembly, if there be none, we shall proceed to the close of the meeting. Faithful pilot, what are the emblems of the degree?
The flag, the sword, and the cross.
Yes, Sir Knights, these glorious symbols typify patriotism, liberty, and faith, heaven-sent attributes of our Christian citizenship. Faithful Admiral, what you say for the sword?
Let us keep it bright for liberty's sake.
Faithful Captain, what do you say for the cross?
This is the cross of Christ, the exponent of Christian ideals, the conqueror of death, the giver of life. Supreme reverence for this sacred symbol will crown our country queen in the sisterhood of nations. It is the bulwark of national honor, the inspiration of patriotism, the guardian of personal worth, for it was crimsoned with the blood of self-sacrifice.
Sir Knights, undying allegiance to the cross of Christ and to Christ, vicar upon earth. All stand or kneel. In the name of the Father, the Son, and our Father who art in heaven,
Hallowed be thy name. Thy
thy
kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven.
give us this day our daily bread,
And forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. and lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil.
Hail Mary, full of grace, the Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death. Glory be to the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, as it was in the beginning, is now, and ever shall be, world without end. Amen. I now declare this assembly duly closed until the next appointed meeting, and that'll be the first Monday in August. And my apologies that we've run off over. Good night.